Have you ever wondered what happens when you combine a $5 million salary, a fearless attitude, and a nose for controversy? You get the wild life of Jesse Watters. In 2025, the cable news king sits on a throne made of ratings gold. From a secret scandal that changed everything to a castle in New Jersey, we are about to expose the truth behind his millions. If you turn on your television at 8 p.m. in 2025, there is a very good chance you are going to see one face. It is the face of a man who knows exactly how to get your attention. Jesse Watters has officially taken over the world of cable news. For years, people wondered who would fill the shoes of giants like Bill O'Reilly and Tucker Carlson. Well, Jesse didn't just fill them. He bought a new pair and started running. In 2025, his show Jesse Watters Prime Time is not just a hit, it is a juggernaut. It crushes the competition on CNN and MSNBC almost every single night. And his other gig, The Five, that show has been the #1 show in all of cable news for 4 years running. When you bring in those kinds of numbers, the bosses open up the checkbook. Reports indicate that Jesse is pulling in a massive salary of $5 million a year. That is the kind of money that changes your life forever. To break that down for you, that is roughly $96,000 hitting his bank account every single week. While you are working all year to buy a nice car, Jesse can buy one every Friday. But his wealth isn't just from his salary. Jesse is a savvy businessman. His net worth in 2025 is estimated to be between $10 million and $16 million. This mountain of cash comes from his TV contracts, his best-selling books, and his high-dollar speaking fees. He is a money-making machine, and he knows it. But before we look at how he spends all that cash, we have to look at how he earned it. Because he didn't start at the top, he started in the basement. Jesse Watters grew up in Philadelphia in neighborhoods like Germantown and East Falls. He went to a good school called William Penn Charter School, but he was just a regular kid. He went on to Trinity College in Connecticut where he graduated in 2001 with a degree in history. Most people think TV stars get discovered on the street. Not Jesse. He had to beg for his spot. In 2002, he got a job at Fox News, but it wasn't glamorous. He was a production assistant. Do you know what that means? It means he was the guy getting coffee. He was the guy logging tapes in the basement of the building. He was making about $10 an hour with no health insurance. He worked on The O'Reilly Factor, which was the biggest show on TV at the time. Jesse was hungry. He didn't want to stay in the basement. He started pitching story ideas to Bill O'Reilly. At first, O'Reilly shot him down. He told Jesse, "You're an idiot." But Jesse kept pushing. Finally, he convinced O'Reilly to let him go out on the street with a camera. This was the birth of Watters' world. He would go to college campuses or busy streets and ask people simple questions. The results were often hilarious because people didn't know the answers. It was mean, it was funny, and it was pure TV gold. Jesse didn't just ask funny questions. He became known as the guy who would ambush people. If a judge or a politician refused to answer questions from Fox News, O'Reilly would say, "Send Watters." Jesse would camp out in their driveways. He would follow them down the street. One of his most famous ambushes was with a journalist named Amanda Turkle. She had written something critical of Bill O'Reilly. So Jesse and a cameraman followed her for 2 hours while she drove to her vacation spot in Virginia. When she got out of her car, Jesse popped up with a microphone and started grilling her. It was aggressive. It was scary for the people he targeted, but the audience loved the drama. It showed that Jesse was willing to do anything to get the story. This fearless style is what propelled him up the ladder. He went from the guy in the bushes to the guy in the anchor chair. But climbing the ladder comes with risks. In 2016, Jesse faced a firestorm that almost took him down. He went to Chinatown in New York City to do a segment on political views. But instead of asking serious questions, he made jokes that many people found deeply offensive. He asked people if they knew karate. He played music from kung fu fighting in the background. He even tried to interview an elderly woman who didn't speak English just to make her silence look funny. The backlash was instant. People called it racist. They called it lazy stereotypes. The Asian American Journalist Association demanded an apology. Jesse issued a statement saying it was tongue-in-cheek. But the heat was on. For a moment, It looked like his rising star might crash, but Jesse survived. He learned that being a provocateur gets you attention, but it also paints a target on your back. While his career was taking off, Jesse's personal life was about to explode. For a long time, Jesse was married to a woman named Noelle Inguagiato. They got married in 2009 and had twin daughters. They lived a seemingly perfect life on Long Island. But in 2017, rumors started swirling. Jesse had met someone at work. Her name was Emma Diggio. She was a 25-year-old associate producer working on his show. She was beautiful, ambitious, and much younger than Jesse. They started spending a lot of time together. They posted photos on Instagram that looked a little too friendly. Eventually, the truth came out. Jesse went to the Human Resources Department at Fox News and confessed. He told them he was having an affair with a subordinate. This is a huge no in the corporate world. To stop any lawsuits, the network quickly moved Emma to a different show, The Ingram Angle. But the damage to his marriage was done. Noelle filed for divorce in 2018. It was a messy, painful end to a decade-long marriage. But for Jesse, it was the start of a new chapter. Now, how did Jesse win Emma's heart? The story is actually quite shocking. Jesse told it himself on live TV, and it left his co-hosts with their jaws on the floor. He called it his Deflategate move. He said that when he was trying to get Emma to date him, she didn't seem interested. So, he devised a sneaky plan. He went to her car and let the air out of her tires. When Emma came out to her car, she saw the flat tires and realized she couldn't drive home. She was stranded. And who just happened to be there to save the day? Jesse Waters. He rolled up and said, "Hey, you need a lift." She hopped in his car completely unaware that he was the one who sabotaged her vehicle. Jesse laughed when he told this story. He said it has a happy ending. We got married, but a lot of people thought it was creepy. It showed a side of Jesse that is manipulative and determined. He sees what he wants and he takes it no matter the rules. Once the divorce was finalized in 2019, Jesse and Emma wasted no time. They got engaged in August of that year. Just a few months later, in December 2019, they threw a massive wedding in Naples, Florida. This was a celebrity event. The guest list was a who's who of the conservative world. Donald Trump Jr. was there. Kimberly Guilfoyle was there. Eric and Laura Trump were there. It was a clear signal that Jesse was now part of the elite inner circle. He wasn't just a reporter anymore. He was friends with the most powerful family in the Republican Party. Emma looked stunning in a white gown and Jesse looked triumphant. He had the new job, the new wife, and the new life. Jesse Waters is now a father of 4 and his house is very loud. First, he has his twin daughters, Sophie and Ellie, from his first marriage. They were born in 2011, which makes them teenagers in 2025. If you have teenagers, you know that as a handful. Jesse often talks about them on the 5. He shares funny stories about their school dances, their phones, and how they roll their eyes at his dad jokes. Then he started a second family with Emma. In April 2021, they welcomed a son. Jesse was so proud he named the boy after himself, Jesse Bailey Waters Jr. He calls him a little rascal. But they weren't done yet. In April 2023, they had another baby, a daughter named Georgina Post Waters. When Georgina was born, Jesse did something that surprised some of his conservative fans. He took paternity leave. He stayed home for a few weeks to change diapers and help Emma. He admitted on air, "I did change more diapers than I'm giving myself credit for." So now his weekends are filled with sports games, toddler tantrums, and baby bottles. It is a chaotic mix of 2 different generations of kids, but Jesse seems to thrive on the energy. Where does this big family live? They needed a house that fit their status. In 2023, Jesse dropped $2.8 million on a mansion in Bernardsville, New Jersey. This house is a beast. It is 10,296 square feet. It sits on 5.6 acres of land on Bernardsville Mountain. This area is renowned as a haven for the ultra-wealthy. It is quiet, green, and very private. The house itself looks like a southern plantation that got lost in New Jersey. It has giant white columns and wraparound verandas that are 2 stories high. You can picture Jesse and Emma sipping iced tea on the porch while looking out over their estate. Let's take a tour inside. When you walk in, you are greeted by a grand foyer with marble floors and a sweeping curved staircase. It is designed to impress. The ceilings soar 12 feet high, making the rooms feel like a palace. The house has 8 wood-burning fireplaces. That is an insane number of fireplaces. There is one in the living room, the library, probably even the bedrooms. It screams luxury. The kitchen is the heart of the home, and Jess's is massive. It has 2 islands, one for prepping food, one for serving. It has custom dark wood cabinets and French doors that open to the garden. And we cannot forget the library. Yes, he has a formal library. It has wood-paneled walls and a spiral staircase that goes up to a second level of books. It is the kind of room where you smoke a cigar and plot your next career move. Downstairs, there is a home theater for movie nights and a wine cellar for Jess's expensive taste. Outside, there is a carriage house for guests. So, when Donald Trump Jr. comes to visit, he has his own house to sleep in. And of course, there is a pool with fountains to cool off in the summer.